Well, g'day and welcome to another edition of Chewing the Fat. We're down here at the Port Adelaide Football Club and I'm joined today by a superstar from the Power, 153 games, was playing some great footy this year but sadly had a knee injury during the year. Hamish Hammer Hartlett, great to have you on Chewing the Fat, mate.
Good on you, Bevo. Thanks for having me, mate.
Now, most importantly, how is the recovery from the knee going so far?
It's going okay. I had a really smooth run for probably 4 or 5 months post the initial operation. Obviously, the first 3 months you don't really do too much in terms of running or any of that sort of thing, but it was probably a 6-week block where I was starting to make some nice progress with my running, and then I started noticing a little bit of swelling in my knee, so I had another scan, and that resulted in getting a little tidy up. That was probably about 7 or 8 weeks ago now, so just over the last fortnight I'm back into running and starting to do a bit of change of direction and kicking now, so I'm feeling a little bit more like a footballer, which has been nice. That's
great to hear, and I'm sure all the Power supporters will be very happy about that. Now, we picked up some big names in the off-season. We lost a couple, but we picked up Scotty Lysett, Sam Mays, and also Ryan Burton, plus a number of young guns as well. How are the new recruits looking so far, Hammer?
Yeah, they've been great. All the boys have fit in, no worries, as you probably expect from senior players that have come across from other clubs. The transition is generally pretty smooth for those types of guys. All of them are out on the training track and showing some great signs early, which is fantastic. It's always great to have an inclusion of players that have got that experience behind them as well. I think Maisie's played just over 100 games at Brizzy. Scotty's played 70 or 80 games, been on the list for a long time at West Coast, and Berto's reasonably fresh into his AFL career, but has already played some really high quality football. So all great fellas and have fit into our program really smoothly, which has been great.
And last season, or this season I should say, was a bit of a disappointing one. Great start, and then obviously you going down and a few other things that went against us, but we ended up finishing 10th on the ladder. But how do we bounce back in 2019?
Yeah, obviously, as is the case at the end of every year, the coaches sit down and have a pretty thorough review of how the season went, and we try and nut out a few things from a playing group and a coaching point of view. So, this year we've come back with a refreshed, mindset and how we want to approach this season, without giving away, too many inside secrets, I suppose. We will be playing far more instinctive and free-flowing football, so that's something that is really exciting for us as players, and I haven't been able to join in too much of the training at this point in time, but all the drills are certainly suggesting that the boys are enjoying that style of football, so that's fantastic. But we'll still maintain our really strong defensive game, which has been a standout for us over the last 2 or 3 years. So again, plenty of optimism at this time of year. Guys are certainly looking forward to what's in store for the next 3 or 4 weeks, having a bit of a break over Chrissy, and then come New Year, things will crack on pretty fast and the games will come around quick, which is what we're all looking forward to.
And a bit of a light-hearted look at things. Now, there's quite a few characters at the Power, but what's been one of the funniest practical jokes played on you, or that you've seen played on one of the other boys, Hammer?
We haven't done too much of the practical joking of late. I think my first few years, the classic sort of cup on top of the door, and someone opens a door and a cup of water falls on top of them. That's probably the one that got the biggest rise out of most of the boys. It works on a few of the players. We might be able to get a few of the new boys and a few of the younger guys with that one in the coming days. So we'll have to set something up there, but that's always a good one.
And yourself, have you played any on anyone else, from whether it be within your footy career or outside of that?
I used to have a bit of fun with Kane Mitchell from time to time. I think there was one day where he must have been getting under my skin. I'm not sure what was happening, but I decided to wrap his casual shoes up with strapping tape, stick them out on a little kickboard and throw them out in the middle of the pool. So he had to get all his gear off and get in the pool and get his shoes, and so that was about as worst of all. I'm not too much of a practical joker, mate. I just like to crack a gag here or two. That's about it.
Okay, and in terms of the coaches, they're quite serious, we see on game day. Kenny's pretty serious, and some of the new ones I'm sure as well. But who's one of the more funnier coaches down there at Alberton?
One of the funnier coaches. It's good. We've got Big Dean Brogan on board this year. I've got bit of a history with Brogues, obviously playing a few years with him and maintaining a friendship over that period of time. So he's a good laugh. Also, Nathan Bassett is a bit quirky, but he's a pretty funny guy as well. The other day he was wearing odd shoes in one of our meetings. I'm not sure how many of the boys picked up on it, but he thought he was going to get away with it because both of the runners that he was wearing were blue. But I noticed that one of them was about 4 or 5 years old, and the other shoe was about only 6 months old or something. So he's a bit of a weirdo like that, Bass, but he's a pretty funny dude as well. So it's good.
And recently saw the Bachelorette happening in Ali, our very own Adelaide Ali, finding love. Who's one of the real ladies' men at the club so far, Hammer?
Real ladies' man. Depends what you determine as being a ladies' man or not. I think in terms of being like a hopeless romantic, Ebo's probably that type of guy. Tommy Jonas has got a bit of a soft side about him as well. So a couple of the older boys. I think we'll leave it at that.
Fair enough. And you were a very promising cricketer growing up. What made you choose footy over cricket in the end, Hammer?
Footy was always my number one passion. Cricket I found was something that I just did throughout the summer months just to pass a bit of time before footy came back around. So I enjoyed playing cricket. There's no doubt about that. But footy was always going to be the direction that I was going to take, and it just happens to be that I turned out to be a reasonable cricketer. By the age of sort of 15, 16, but by that stage, my mind was fully made up that I was going to choose footy anyway. So
that's understandable. You certainly made a good decision there. Well, Hamish Hartlett, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on Chewing the Fat, mate. Thanks so much once again for coming on, and all the best with recovery for the knee, and hopefully be back bigger and better in 2019. Thanks again.
Beautiful. Thanks, Bevo. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.